Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the channel. Today we find ourselves in update 1.5 or 1.05 or whatever it's called in Project Motor Racing. And it is what it is. You can see us in the garage. I've chosen a racing suit. I've chosen a car. This is career mode. My screen is much bigger than what you can see. So if I was to manually just try and pull it across, you won't see it, because generally it is a much bigger screen. If I now try and bring that back, there you go. So to the left hand side we've got a menu here which I can't change. I don't think I can't bring that menu onto the front page because we've lost the options because we're in it. But if we go to the basic setup, let's make sure my wheel is configured first. So PC, there we go. It likes it. Everything is slightly shifted across because you can't see all the things are over on the left hand side because we're on a triple screen setup. I can't see it because my camera's decided to have a die. Oh, we're going to have to start again then, aren't we? There we go. And you can see with this camera the full splendour of said triple screen, which, well, there we go. Let's get back to the game. There we are. So you can see the full splendour of the triple screen here. Okay, so let's introduce Project Motor Racing. Project Motor Racing has been out around about 5 days. I unfortunately haven't been able to test it or drive it because I've damaged my left shoulder. This shoulder here decides it doesn't want to get picked up above sort of shoulder height, and if I do, blooming hell, it hurts. So what we end up doing, or what we end up doing, is just carefully managing what we're doing, what we're lifting, what we're picking up, including my arm itself. So as we just trundle along, we are making our way back to gaming, and we're making our way back to enjoying what we do. So bear with me if I yelp with pain or if there's a little bit of a weird cut, but we are just generally trying to do stuff right. So Project Motor Racing, this is edition 4 of the Project Cars sort of series. Project Cars 1, which was really good. Project Cars 2, which was blooming awesome. Project Cars 3, which was undoubtedly a little bit of a failure in the sim world. Project Cars 2 was such a massive thing to try and keep up with. But here we are, Project Motor Racing, and it looks really quite good. Now, I've watched a few reviews, I've listened to a few reviews, and I've read a few things online, and I'm not really of the feeling that Project Motor Racing has really helped itself with the opinions that it's got from people. So in terms of reviews, I think it's been really unfortunate. I think it's sometimes a little bit unfair that Project Motor Racing is where it is. Lots of negativity, lots of people claiming that the game isn't what it's supposed to be. Lots of people complaining, maybe jumping on a bandwagon, that Project Motor Racing is poor. However, let's put that aside for a minute. Let's go and have a look for ourselves. I am 5 days behind everybody else, and I'm just trying to get back up to speed with my shoulder. So let's go and have a look. There's no point me taking through all the menus and stuff. I've just got to set up my cameras, etc. to meet the screen. We're going to dive into single player, which is my menus over here on the left. And we're going to have a quick dip into career and see where that goes. I've already bought a car here, the Mazda MX-5, and I've already got a career set up. I've only got 7 grand. We're going to go to the first race of the championship, which is this next event, and we're going to click begin event. I've done nothing other than paint the car, choose a car. I've then chosen a business, a budget, a style of racing, as per you do with this sort of element of the game. And then we've chosen the first race, which is putting us into Silverstone, commonly called Northampton. It's going to be an 8-lap MX Trophy race at the International. I've put up there for you my frame rates, which is this PC is it's an AMD 9950, and it's got a 1490 graphics card on 96 gig of memory. It does very, very well. It's a really good machine, not the latest spec, but at 49 frames, it's going to be well drivable on what is considered to be ultra settings. You can see the cars in the grid. You can see me up there. We're just going to dive in. We could do the vehicle setup thing, but this is level 1. This is ground 1. We're just going to go and have a drive, which should be just a warm-up, 10 minutes. Now, it's really interesting that the pit lane is below ground level. Look at that.
lane.
Let's see how she drives. Let's see how it feels. Let's see how it looks. Already, I'm liking my mirror, my rear view mirror, which you can't see over to my right hand side. I like my driver's mirror on the left door. I can't see my mirror on the right hand side. Just got to remember the braking point for the international circuit. I touch the brake and the car steps out a wee bit. Interesting. Going to cover the left hand side of the lane. My force feedback is turned down because of my left arm. So I'm already feeling it's a little bit light. And we're already a little bit slow, but let's see where we go. Car reacts beautifully over the curves. Lots of bumps, lots of vibration. Ooh. Not much track surface vibration. Not much track feel. But again, my settings are quite light because of my shoulder. I don't want to snap. What's all that dirt flying off that car in front? Take up the left-hand side of the track early. It's been a long time since I've driven a sim that has Silverstone in it. Mainly been fixed on GT7. So maximum frame rate of 60 achieved because we want to. My refresh rate on my monitor is 60, so we don't really want to drive the frames beyond that. So my GPU's got headroom and my CPU's got plenty. Back end of the car there just tweaked about as we locked up going in. Easy to cold the counter steer, bit panicky, but tyres not yet up to temperature, rear brakes not up to temperature. PSI, 24 PSI on the left, 23 on the right. Shouldn't really just brake into there, missed my turning point. Need to know what sort of speeds we need to be doing. It feels good. Got another car behind us. Feels a bit weird with them appearing in my rear view mirror up there. I drifted away from the racing line a little bit. Oh, we left the circuit on the left hand side. We might get told off for that. Car on my right. That was a nice aggressive pass. There were lots of feedback from the initial reviews that the AI were pretty rubbish. I've got these set to 96%, and the patch addressed some issues, I believe, with the AI stopping and braking on the apex, etc. So let's see how we go. My main reason for wanting PMR was that
5 minutes remaining in the
Project Motor Racing, or Project Cars 2, was exceptional. And if we can capture the essence of Project Cars 2, I don't think there's any problem with complementing my racing channel, my sim racing channel, with another league or leagues based in Project Motor Racing. We're currently focused 99% on Gran Turismo. And until Spec 3 comes, which is actually next week, Gran Turismo is actually coming to pretty much a dry stall, really. There isn't much to go for Gran Turismo in terms of no new tracks for a long time. I know we're getting Yas Marina and... oops. And Gilles Villeneuve. Oh my god, that was a crunch, wasn't it? Look at my right wing. Oh my lord. That was a bit of a bump. That was rude. Was that my fault? However, Project Motor Racing, could it be an equal platform to do some racing on alternate nights? Get a league going, try and attract some different racers, make this a second game that complements the channel and brings in new audience. So just as I try and get up to speed, it's probably worth having that discussion and saying, you know, it is gonna be, I think, a really good platform. Good balance of cars, from single seat saloons to sports cars to GT and endurance. I think it's going to have a really good spread, and I would genuinely like to race with the guys I race with on another game that they can all enjoy. It is cross-platform, so it'll work Xbox, PlayStation and PC, which generally means we can attract 3 types of players, can't we? Not everybody has to be on PlayStation, which you do with Gran Turismo. Let's see where we are in terms of lap time. 1:19 versus 1:15. Oh, I saw him in my mirror. It took my eyes off the straight. I've got overtaken. I'm slow. Now I am racing in car, which for me is the realistic way. I don't race in car in Gran Turismo, so I'm liking the view. It feels good. It generally does feel right. Touch the brakes there as went over the curb, just try and hold the car steady. Good noise of curbs, rumble strips. Got a car right on my 6. You can't see him, but he is there. See if I can improve my speed through this part of the circuit.
1 minute remaining in the session.
We'll get to the finish line here. Flick the cones out of the way. It says we're 12 out of 12, which is interesting. We're supposed to be winning this opening round of this career mode. Hopefully we'll be a little bit quicker, but I don't think we're going to be as... Lost the back end there. I lost another spot. Still 1.4 seconds at 1:18.2. I think that's it though. There's no more laps to do, is there? That's done. We are 2 seconds slower than our previous lap, which is fine. Let's find the pit entrance in case we need it. It's quite off-putting actually. I've got a mirror there just that I can see the corner of it. And it says time remaining 1:53. That's overtime, so my guess is that's pit lane time.
Watch your speed, mate, and don't overshoot the box.
We made it to the pit lane. There we go. So we qualify in last spot. We are 2.5 seconds off the pace. Next session then, go to drive. So 8 minutes 20 on qualifying. So we took a couple of PSI out the front tyres.
Clear of the pits.
That would hopefully give us a little bit of front end grip once the tyre temperature comes up. We're only doing... There's the rear end losing traction because the tyres are cold. In the old MX-5, which... understandable. Outlap. Let's see where we go. Might have to have a nice little cut, we'll see. Front end was feeling better into the corners, less loss. You can see we've got a cooler middle band of tyre temperature in the middle. We'll let him go, but we'll follow him. No, we won't. We were wise to do that.
Full focus, full send.
He was as junior as we are. Not really got a lot of heat in the rear tyres. Try and hold the car to the left. Got nobody trying to pass us. There's 2 cars behind us, but they're not there in the rear view mirror. Definitely got more front end grip. Tyre temperature's coming up on the front left. Rear left is coming up as well. See where we can go. A 1:19.456. We're not as quick as the AI for sure. They've definitely given the AI a bit of a push. What I have noticed is it won't let me change down to second if my revs are too high, which is really smart. Five minutes left, which will give us 2 laps of qualifying. More. That left front is coming up to temperature. Just going a bit yellow, but the back end was just tweaking on me then. Let's see where we go, warts and all.
3/10 off.
3/10. No seconds. We're still last. Now we've got a whole queue. We got a bit of a convoy. However, we'll just keep pushing. We're doing the best we can. Full tune setups, you see. Oh, we've gone wide. Not going to lift. Just keep the foot in. .2 seconds off. Did we get that lap disqualified? I don't think they'll let us have it. Yeah, I think they took that lap off us, but not to worry. Got 2 minutes left, we can do it again. Still got us down for a 19.456. We'll get another lap in. .118.5. We're still last. Oh, we overrun there. Warning for track limits. We need to get that last flyer in on overtime. It's got to be third gear, that corner, surely. Try and make it back to the start finish line before the time cuts out. I'm sure we can get into the top 10. Come on. No chance. No straddling of the sausage today, please. .17 seconds. We're going to get the last lap in. Let's do it. 118.5 still.
Session over. Checkered flag this lap.
Slightly ran a little bit too wide. Keep it in third. Accelerate early, see if we can gain it back. We gained a 10th. 2 tenths, not enough. We're 0.7 up. Up to 11th, and we beat him by a 10th. He was the car behind us. Absolutely ding dang do. Auto drive.
Finishing qualifying, but we can try and make it work from there.
Yeah, right. So on to the next session then. We are off the pace, but we're up there in it. Look, 11th place. You guys can't see that, but it is what it is. We are there. So we're on to the drive page, and effectively 8 laps here. We've done the practice, we've done the qualifying. They're the very first laps I've done. So you can see the full surround here. I hope that is enough for you to see. I could wear a camera on the top of my head if you wanted to, so you could see where we were looking. I have that ability, but it might look a bit funky, but it would give you that look around view and you would see more of the screen. But let's see where we go. We're not going to change the setup from the practice and qualifying. We're there on the grid. There we are. That very back car there. You can see us. I'll circle it. There we are. There. That's us. But let's go for it. Let's give it a go. Let's see what it's like to drive. We get this little artistic little dance down the grid, which is absolutely fantastic. We can see who's there. We got the qualifying time. This would be great, wouldn't it, as a qualifying time thing to start the lead off. I don't have to then... I can introduce the drivers as we go down. Need to have a little bit of a spiel. But if it's going to work for us as a lobby... Look at all that dirt on the track. Look at those rubber marbles. That's a little bit excessive, I think, in certain places where the racing line is. Is the racing line down through the start line on the left-hand side in the start boxes? Maybe. Here we go. Here's Widdowmaker. He says it on the left screen and then it'll say on the right screen over here. Here we go. We don't have to do all that. We can skip that if we want to. Left foot on the brake. Not in gear. 3 lights, top left-hand corner. Could have had a better start. We've not got as good a start as the guy from 11th place. Oh my lord. Did I not give him room? Obviously not. Oh, there's been an off in front. 2 cars come together. Like we had. Tyres are showing a little bit of green. Got to see if we can get back into that pack. Come on. 8 laps at the back. Going to be pretty poor, I reckon. Let's go. Come on. Kept it on. Bit of a gap opening to the pack at the front. We're not doing much about closing this gap down. Let's see where we can go. Did a bit of a lift as we changed into 5th. It's all about track awareness, isn't it? Got the ABS on 3. No traction. No other assists. It says Widdowmaker as my name. What is that? Oh, gonna get a warning. Yeah. Didn't quite straddle the curb. Didn't get into 5th. Losing all ground, look. AI too strong. My wheel is working. That's good to see. Heavy in the 4th gear. Come round there without actually cutting the corner, which is good. No. We are losing ground hand over fist, and it's a bit of a procession, isn't it? Not a lot of overtaking going on in front, and it looks like we're going to lose our first race. 2.6 seconds back, and we've got no real way of catching that up. We've yet to put a lap time in because we keep running off the track limits. Front end locked up, but we got the entry. There's the fastest lap. For us, that is. 1:17.2. So that's faster than quali. A potential 1:17.2, should I say. Didn't quite make the pace down the straight. We've got that nice little, what's it called? We've got the nice little thing at the top of the screen that tells us where we're ahead or behind the time. Gran Turismo has a different way of showing that. That has a blue or a red arrow with blue time. This has a nice little bar that tells you where you are. Let's call it a legend. But we are losing ground to the pack in front all the time. We're going to have to adjust our AI capability or just get faster. Faster through there. So it's a procession. We'll be moving on to race 2. I think Silverstone looks good. Visuals into the distance look pretty decent. Missed the apex there. Sure shifted into 3. Front left-hand tyres into orange and possibly red. We've got a nice line through there, almost half a second up at this point. We've lost over half a second. We overslowed. That's a shame. We're going to have to go out there and search for setups, aren't we? That's what we're going to have to go and do. All tried to straddle the sausage. Lap 7 out of 8 and they've almost lost me. I'm 7 seconds behind the rear car.
One more to go.
One more. Stupendous. Tried to take out a few cones, we didn't get a warning. Shifting up through the gears quicker, and we're within a tenth of our fastest time. Leader's gone across the finish line. Going to try and set a fastest lap on our closing lap, 12th out of 12.
That's it, mate.
Well,
Bring it back
there
to
we
the
go.
finish.
Not
Some
brilliant.
faster cars out
Not
there
brilliant.
today.
Finished the weekend. We earned $4,000. Well, there it is. So that's the opening race. You can see how much damage we got. Look at that. That was a proper clatter, wasn't it? From that that bump from the left-hand side. So go to the garage, one would suggest. MX-5. We need to repair it. It's going to cost us $1,795. And there she is, back to normal. We're off to race 2. So 8 laps of Donington, which is commonly known as Derby in this race. Let's go begin the event. Let's see how well we can see Donington now. That looks like the international leg. It's called Derby. Been a long time since I've been here. In real terms. So here's the circuit. Let's have a look. Crowd doesn't look as good as GT7. I know that's probably an unfair comparison, but there's a few people that live around here I know. I used to live just over there, down the bottom of there, a little bit way over the hills. Let's make our way to do some practice. There's the trainer curves on the way down to the bottom. Skip is over there. Let's find the skip button. There we go. So we're ready to do our practice session, so we might as well just have a quick drive. Got some vibration in my driving pedal. In my throttle pedal. Let's see how we go on here.
Pit lane.
Get a feel for this. The brakes feel a little bit sharp. I think I'm pressing them a little bit harder than I need to. Coming back up the hill. This is where Billy Monger had his accident, which was a shocker. But it's good to see him doing well now. Proper young man. Still racing as well, which is great to see. But up the hill to the right-hander. Blind turning. Just see how that goes. There we go. And then there used to be a Dunlop tunnel, Dunlop bridge down here. Big half tyre, but that's gone. We are doing the international leg. Put the front right tyre on the curbs. That wasn't great. Really messed up our braking. We saw him coming. Don't know how. Ooh, didn't get that right at all. Car on our left-hand side. I can't turn my head to look left, so we have to just go with what we can see in the mirrors. Down the hill we go. Good run at the bottom of the hill. Let's let the revs come up. Oh, keep my foot in, no point. Oh, we've lost it, into the gravel. Looking to the track, oh, it's lost it. Dirty tyres. Is there dirty tyres simulation on the old... There isn't dirty tyres simulation on the... overview there. Let's let that car go on the inside. He knocks the tyre barrier out of the way. It's all a little bit desperate. Let's go. Going to come back over and claim our line on the track. You can see the racing line there. Now we don't have a little bit of track shadowing when we have a car tucked up neatly behind our rear wing or on the slight left or slight right. In Gran Turismo you have that little bit of darkness that comes around the outside frame of the screen to tell you that somebody is close behind you. However, it also feels like I'm shouting a bit over the volume of the car, which is tremendous. It feels like I'm having to raise my voice as I'm driving around to get you to listen, but of course the microphone doesn't know that, does it? So it is what it is. It seems to indicate purple up there. I don't believe we've got a start time on this lap. I don't think it's given me one. car on my left-hand side. Now we're getting the time. He's still pushing down the outside. I can't close the door on him. That would be my fault, one would suggest. Yes. Car feels a little bit, what's the word, floaty. We lost traction up here, didn't we? That spat us off to the left. Let's see if we can do something. A 51. We need to take 4 seconds off our lap time, which doesn't feel overly difficult to do. We do have a car pressurising us, so I can see him in my mirror. We're going to get one more lap in. This is going to be the flyer, I think. A comparative flyer. Track limits warning, therefore this lap is cancelled. It's practice anyway, not quali. So
1 minute left in the session.
I don't think we're going to get back before the flag drops. As I say, there used to be a bridge down here which always gave you a good indicator where you were coming down the straight. There's quite a drop off and the bridge was about here, so it wasn't a braking mark or anything, but it is what it is. Getting a bit of nudges from behind. We're going to stay left this time. And get a bump for it.
This lap, checkered flag. Session complete.
So we don't get a better time. We're half a second up, but returning to the pits. It's got control. So pretty shoddy. Pretty shoddy. Far too many mistakes. Look at the back end of the car. Oh dear. Is there any opportunity to do repairs, vehicle setup, essentials? What's over there? No, fuel. We could drop the fuel if we want to. Tyre and brake data, nothing there. Pit setup. We're doing 8 laps, aren't we? What fuel's in there? Select amount of fuel, 9.9 gallons. Damage repair all, that's good. Refuel amount, compound auto. No, don't think we can do anything with that. What is the fuel to start with? 5.1 gallons. That's half a tank if it's loading 9. Ah, we'll leave it. We'll leave it. We're slow anyway. Let's see if we can make progress. Let's go. Next session. Not a lot we can do. Leave weekend, next session. Here we go. Drive. This is the quali. The longer we're out there, the better.
Clear.
Little tap on the brakes, got the back end to rotate a little bit. He's much quicker, isn't he? What was that flash on the screen there? That was quite strange. Just felt that gear change through the chassis of my rig. So I'm going to crunch out of this at this point because generally we know how it's going to end. I'm going to end up last, and there's no real issue with how that rolls out. We know that's the case. We're here to look at the game and understand what it's about. So yeah, this is how the screen looks on the left-hand side. You can see it. The menus for me, if we're talking about the game and the way it sets up, these menus, I don't like the UI. The gold and the white against the dark background. It's not clear where the buttons are for me, really. I know I'm blind and I'm old, but as it is, the way they are on the screen over here, down in the bottom left-hand corner, well, I don't know why I'm looking to the left when they're in front of me when I can see it, but I'm looking up. They are clear, but I just don't know where I'm supposed to be pressing. If I'm looking down here, am I clicking the back or the escape? Am I just pressing the escape or pressing the space? It's all a little bit frustrating. There's no real obvious buttons to press. We'll click on the event calendar, it takes us there, and we can see that that's not completed. We haven't completed, and that's what I mean about real clarity of what's there. Backspace and back, you've put the two things together. Expenses, earnings, etc. I'm going to click back escape, come out of there, back to career, back to race weekend. We're here at making the choice. We're coming back out again. This is choosing. We'll click back. And then we've got challenges. Now, these are online competitions. Let's see what does. Why doesn't it put this menu on the front screen when I'm on triple? Endurance Hall and Factory Driver. What's all this about? So, you're looking on the left-hand side there. You can see these. 43 laps at Spa. 50 laps in Florida 300. These are start position 5. These are interesting. 10 laps at the Nürburgring Nordschleife. They are endurance, aren't they? Factory Driver, what's that going to give us? Routes Challenge, a target 202. Oh, I see. These are little online challenges. So a saline in Derby, a 128. At Daytona Road Course, I'm guessing that's a 145 in the Corvette. Oh, that'll make people want to watch. Let's have a look at that. Let's we were at Daytona yesterday, weren't we? Let's see if we can Daytona yesterday on Friday in another game. Let's see what it looks like in this. That's a bit of a view, isn't it? Factory Driver. Let's skip, it says. There's turn 3 and 4. There we go. Let's have a look-see. Now, do we get the full? We get the full out, don't we? Back end squirty. Here's the full pit lane exit. GT7, take note. Yeah, my G-foot, my Oopa. My force feedback is a little bit lower than it needs to be. Slidey car. Track seems very narrow. We're locked up. We brake on the edge of this inroad here. I think I'm going to take corners in third gear. Whoa, that's slicey feisty. On the banked oval, let's drop down to the inside. Sunshine on the track looks really good. Look at the reflection on the inside of the screen. 6th gear's maximum, drop to the outside. We're looking for the little sign over the track for the inroad. They've put curbs in. Oh, it's not like that on GT7, is it? Wow, that was quick. That was nice. Here we go on the big bank. This is the outlap, so now we've got to work out the inroad on turn 1. Oh my lord, yes. Here we come off turn 4. Heading down to the tri-oval. Pick up the inside line as we go across the line, then make our way out to the outside and brake accordingly. Oh no. That didn't feel good. Oh, she's all over. She's got so much power. No traction or counter steer. No ABS. Wow, she's very, very loose. Good job there's no other cars on track. She's very loose. It's so much potential here. Higher speed, faster cars are going to be a handful for me, I think. Won't get a lap time in here. No 7th gear. Let's see if we can get turn 1 at least somewhere nearly right. Oh, onto the grass. Need to get my braking marker correct. Just looking at the frame rates, GPU level. Getting a little bit of stuttering as I came around that corner where the Ferris wheel is. Oh, just locked up the rear axle, which caused the back end to stick. I should probably brake in the higher gear, to be honest. Well, brake balance to the front a bit, I think. Come on, let's get a lap in. 1, any lap, that would be good. So other than what I know nothing about the game. I haven't read many reviews in terms of how it's supposed to work. I watched a couple of YouTube videos on the current review of the game and conditions. I'm just a little bit unclear as to how come that didn't flag that I missed the apex, but maybe it's because I've already got the lap cancelled, but never know. But yeah, we keep ploughing on, we keep ploughing through. Real gingerly on the brakes, try and not lock the back axle up or spin the rear wheels up in third gear, my lord. It's going to take a few laps to get this sorted. To understand how this wants to be driven. It's going to take me a little while, I think. It's not as if we don't know the track, we just don't know how the car wants to react. You can't just stuff your foot on the brake and it stops. There's a lot of feathering required. I missed the apex there. Oh, we spun it. Track limits again. We could do a few laps around here, couldn't we, all night? But it's fairly tricky. Try again, one more time. Gonna have to put the practice in. Unlike GT7, there's no license test, there's no introduction to the game. The single player is where you're gonna have to learn the game before you go online and try and take on the world's finest. The world's finest will all be doing 136s, 137s. We're just going to be pootling around making a name for ourselves as a bit of a numpty driver. Keeps locking up and I don't know why. Too much brake pressure, obviously. Tyres are green, good temperature. 24 on the front, 25 on the rear. Tyre wear is there, brakes are up to temperature. Do you think we're going to get a lap time? That was fairly good through the bus stop. We're not going to get a ghost, are we? Next time we do it. A 47. That's 9 seconds off where we need to be. I think it's at a 38. Ah, I couldn't get it back. No damage indicator. However, there was a quick look. That's not too thing, is it? Let's return to pit. See what it gives us, what it tells us. It just tells us the temperature, track temper, ambient, etc. Standings. Their fastest lap, a 1:47.772. It's got our splits. And we've got vehicle setup. So can we change settings? I think we can. Mediums are the auto. Mediums where? There's softs. There's softs. We can put softs on the front with softs on the back. Beautiful. I wonder if it'll let us do that. And we go drive again. It will. It's let us have the softs.
Hammer down now.
I think I want a bit more force feedback setting, which I know is within my control. It's not the game. I think we could reduce the fuel as well. It's got 10.9 gallons in, you see. Just going to try and put some heat in the tyres. Now we're going to brake on the first cone. Which is decent. First cone works until somebody takes it out, of course. Right, now we're going to try and see if the soft tyres give us any more feel into one. And then we're going to be looking to see if we can make some progress. Not really. The handling actually felt very bad into there. The handling felt really quite horrible. Car very floaty, and I said that earlier, didn't I? I don't know if this car, whether that's the high power or whether that is something in the physics. I can't really tell about the physics until my sort of shoulder's sorted, but in terms of faster high power car, into that corner it felt like the car was really light and sliding. Doesn't feel like the car has positive braking bias, if you see what I mean. It doesn't seem to want to brake other than by sliding the tyres and locking the car up. So let's go round again and see what we can do. Timing seems a bit weird. -10, -7. Is that till we go across the line? No, it's a long way away from that point. Ooh. It locks up, doesn't it? But that has got to be one of the hardest slowing down corners in motorsport. You're braking down from 170 mile an hour to I'm just burning the rear tyres up for the sake of it now.
Your tyres are overheating. Try to keep them in the window.
Yeah, try and keep them in the window. Interesting how that simulates that. That central tyre strip feels like the rear tyres are too overinflated. Feels like it needs to drop a pound or two of air pressure. Front tyres are in the zone, rears are still too hot, which is interesting. That's took out the wobble knobs. They've got wobble knobs in this game. Right, let's try that lap again, come on. Are we going to get this lap taken off us because we cut the chicane? It should do, really, shouldn't it? Car sounds lovely under acceleration. Front tyres locked up. Can't get into that corner on soft tyres. It just wants to slide. So, we're going to call that there. We'll end that session. I think it demonstrates we are not the best driver, but we've got a long way to go before we're going to be, you know, absolutely nailing those sort of times. So we've got racers out there setting times. Look, a 142, and we're in the 147s somewhere, aren't we? We failed this one. So, time not beaten. That's interesting. Says improve or main menu. So yes, there we go. What else is there we can have a crack at in these little test sessions? Cars that have a... Oh, there's an MX-5 at Zolder. A 54167. And they're all users, look. Just Boris. Top 50 racers. Oh, there's the old LMP one. Beautiful. LMP 900. Oh, the 917K round the Nordschleife. Yes, everybody would love that. The Porsche GT1. Beautiful car. Again, Nürburgring GP. So there's a track for every car. And to get anywhere near that, is it all about the tuning, I wonder? Is it the tuning? Lime Rock in the MX-5. That's an interesting circuit. Let's have a quick go. So Lime Rock has a double apex first turn to the right, which is an interesting circuit, and then it comes around and sweeps back on itself. Two large 180 hairpins and a 90 right. They're not hairpins as such, they're nice long flowing corners, but they just roll into each other. And you come round the back end, there's the first one, double apex sort of out to in. And then it's a steady middle of the track course, and then we go through a 90 right, then we come down to a chicane. Is it going to show us? Yes, it is. But we go round the 90-degree course rather than through that chicane. Then we take the 90-degree up the hill, underneath the bridge, dive down the hill, right turn and then head away to the start finish, and it's essential to get that start finish. Pit lane on the right hand side, there it is. So again, a real good rendition of a course, another iRacing favourite. Vehicle setup, tyre and chassis. It's given us hards as auto. We're only allowed hards, so it is what it is. It's got no rear aero settings, which is interesting. Can we drop out fuel? That's a question. Engine and drivetrain. Fuel level's 5.1 gallons. So if we drop that down to 2.5 gallons, that should give us the run. Back drive.
Clear.
We'll get to see what Lime Rock's like. As I say, it's an iRacing track, this one. One that you start on as a junior in the iRacing. My force feedback. I need more. Again, just for clarity, that's down to me because of my left shoulder. Now, iRacing, I've only ever made the 90 degree here into the chicane. Going right here and up the hill. Oh, it's not right here and up the hill. It's right here and up the hill. Then we dive down. Make the start line, start finish straight. And if you're in the draft down here, it's a great slingshot. Then you've got to pick your braking point. Tyres are not up to temperature yet. And then we just have to find our feet down here. This chicane is actually a real tricky one on iRacing because you've got to pick your braking marker and be at the same point where everybody else is. I feel that could probably be 5th gear. A little bit of a lift. Left hand side tyres are coming up to speed. Right hand tyres are just hanging below the requirement. A little bit slow into the corner, but we'll pick up the line. We missed the turn-in. Bit scrappy. And we're kind of just beating the previous lap time. Dead on a minute. 4 seconds slower than the fastest guys. See if we can get up the hill in 4th without changing down. Sixth, 5th gear. We need to get to 6th. Come on. 1.2 seconds up. Oversteering the front axle. Use of third gained us half a second. Sixth gear before we entered the corner gives us a good run down the straight. We're going to be over a second quicker. 57.8 we're expecting. 57.7. No brakes, just balance the throttle through there. Lost a little bit of time coming out of there. Front left tyre's overheating now. We've pushed a little bit too hard, but a 57.5 is good. Considering that's what, lap 4? Something like that. Tyres are very sensitive to speed. So tyre wear just starting to pick up on the front left tyre. Look, you can just start to see the tips of the very surface going black. And then they shine red through the black. Interesting to try and read that. Three-tenths down at this point. Tyres just coming back out of the red into the orange. Overtaking round here can be an absolute nightmare. Overtaking's only a given. Oh, jeez. Yeah, that's us dead. When you've got juniors, when you've got people who aren't used to the circuit, so yeah, we're struggling to steer properly. Steering's out. Back to the pits. Yeah, you can see the wear on the front left and front right now. That's really quite interesting. Into the pits.
Keep an eye on your speed, mate, and remember to hit your marks.
That doesn't matter. Is it going to make us drive it? I think it is. Burble on the throttle's quite nice. Into the pit box. Brakes on. Bumped it. Have we missed? Hit escape. Return to pit. Well, that's interesting. Let's have a look at standings then. We got a 57.483. What's that tell us we're doing? Let's hit back and escape, maybe. I don't know. I'll be back 1 second. Boom, boom, boom. Check, check. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, so really we want to be able to check out where we are in sort of the standings, don't we? I need to get my mouse back on the screen. Standings. It says there we are at 57... Oh, I've lost my screen. Where's that gone? 57,483. And the only options we've got are restart. Let's go back, escape. Spectate, quit. Are you sure? Yes. Want to see if that time... It didn't show us that time, did it? As a thing. It didn't show us whether we completed that time. So let's go and find out. It says completed. So it does say completed, which is tremendous. A 57,483. There we are. We're 474th, top 500. Which I know you can't see. Let me make it possible that you can. Bring that across there because that's ridiculous. Now you can see at Widdowmaker 474th. Target time was a 58 and we're half a second in, which is all you have to do. I believe then you can go and... I think there's a race online qualification point with that, maybe. Something along that, but there it is. So that's relatively decent as far as I can see. And then all you have to do is go and complete each one of these and you're away. The back button on my steering wheel works. So as a thing then, let's have a refresh. Let's see what we think's good and what we think's bad or what we think is up there and in there. If it wasn't from a shoulder, I'd be having definitely more force feedback. Graphically, I could improve by getting a better monitor on, but the triple screen, I don't know if you can see it. You won't be able to see it here on the camera, but genuinely there is a bit of a gap here where I'm pointing on the screen where it doesn't render correctly across the merge of the screens. Now I have the narrowest margin, the narrowest screen edge that you can possibly imagine, and I've also got the blending corners fitted so that it blends the corners into each other, so it eliminates that bit of missing screen, and I can still see a change between the two. It's cutting off the corner of the toolbox that's there on the screen. I don't know if you can see that. Here you can. It's on the left hand side and it's cutting that off. On that screen up there, actually, it all looks very narrow compared to what I've got on down here, but that's something to do with my screen setting up there. I'm sure that is. Yeah, it's still all of it narrow based on my screen settings and what's available there. But the cars themselves on track look really, really good. What I didn't point out whilst we were running around is if you look at the car in the distance, there's a lot of heat haze, and I think they're using heat haze to cover up a little bit of graphic issues, but I don't think there's a problem in rendering at a distance. The AI, if you want to race AI, they need to fill the gap and they need to be fairly decent, and I think this patch sorted that out. We haven't seen any, well, we have seen a bit of a bad AI, but they're better than me. They're faster than me. Saved replays? Have we got any? We haven't got any, which I should have saved a couple, because then I'd be able to use them in my video. All you're going to get is first person from me in this view, and that's going to be it. I think the game is now at a decent standing. I think it needs more. And I think over the next 4 to 6 to 8 to 12 weeks, I think legitimately we can find ourselves with some really good options for racing in a new league if we move at the same pace as what this game does. So what I really would think I want to just go over with you is what is available. If we're talking circuits, you're going to see them on the screen in front, but here we go from the top. We've got Monza, which is not called Monza, but let's call it that. We've got the Canadian Tire Motorsport Park, which we've got Spa. We've got Daytona, which is only the road course, no oval. I don't believe. No oval. We've got Donington, where we've got 2 circuit options. You've got the chicane, and then you've got the international leg. Kyalami, which is a South African GP circuit, just the one option. Lexington, which has 2 options. Look, you've got the long leg or you've got the kink in the chicane. Lime Rock, we've got 3 alternatives. You've got the full course, you've got the chicanes, and then you've got the sports car, which is just not including that hairpin, that little chicane at the end. So you can run both chicanes, which is quite cool. Mountain Panorama, just the one version of that circuit. Northampton, which is your Silverstone. So you've got your full GP, you've got your International, which is half circuit. It looks like you've got a couple of options here to put the other circuits in, which are in games, in other games. But then we also have what is the old original pit, so the old F1 variation using, it's like the off track. It's the second set of pits that they use for Formula 1 weekend, because all the F2s start in there and come round to here. Nürburgring, of course, we've got the GP and then the short track. Classics. Nordschleife, one oval, which hasn't got the international extension. But then you've got the Nürburgring Nordschleife, which is the 24-hour that does have the GP extension. San Marino, stunning circuit. Really enjoy that 1-1 variation. Sebring has 3 variations. You've got the Johnson Club and then the school circuit, which, again, both of those, all 3 of those circuits I love. Brilliant tracks. Spielberg, which is Red Bull Ring, got both of those variations, which is fine. You've got Sao Paulo, which, as everybody knows, is the Brazilian Grand Prix. Then we've got Zolder, which is a classic in other racing games, but more ACC, I think, than GT7. This would be a great circuit for GT7. It's got so much variation in. It's a great little starter circuit to really get you into twisty, windy courses that have got a lot of straight, a lot of acceleration, and lots of overtaking points. So I'd expect us to have sort of a couple of dabbles on there. Any of those circuits, I think. Well, if we're going to talk realistically about whether we can have a league, I think we would choose a few of those circuits depending on the car. Mons would have to be a sports car, a GT, a GR, a Formula, GR4, GR3 and above. Mosport, ultimately, I think decent circuit to race on, and I think we could do road cars there. Spa, again, you're in the Formula 1 era, so there's enough circuits on here to do a good F1 stint or endurance car stint. Spa fits that beautifully. Daytona, again, GR's brilliant. Derby, generally a sports car, road car sort of track. I think that'd work beautifully into a league. Kyalami, F1 or sports cars, GRs, definitely. Lexington, with no chicane. My thoughts is that makes for a decent circuit. I remember that being in one of the very early games, and it was a great circuit to race on. It felt like you were driving on the top of a very open circuit where there were nothing to keep you on. And I know that's how it should feel. You don't need walls to keep you on. But it felt like it needed walls and higher curbs. But it is what it is. I think that would make a great sports car circuit. Lime Rock, of course, would be sports cars, road cars. Mountain Panorama, you could race GRs around there for sure. Silverstone, take anything round there, but that would make a great circuit for a league race. Nürburgring being the GP circuit, and any of those two would work well. Nordschleife, not for me for league racing. San Marino, sports car, yeah, GR cars definitely. Sebring, any of those variants would fit. Spielberg, definitely. Brazil would fit your GRs. So I reckon with Zolder in there as well, I reckon we've definitely got a 6 weeks or longer road car or sports car to be able to keep up with the game and see it develop. And I would propose, if we were going to have leagues here, that this game is in a position to very soon start to host those races. I generally think a couple of nights online where we can do a little bit might be good. And for those people that are interested who don't race with the Widdowmaker Racing, it's probably the time to really get in now before we start to grow, because it will, as soon as people see this game starting to take off and it get better, people will want to race it, and the best place to be is in at the start. So I urge you to find us on Grid Finder. If you can find us on Grid Finder, sign up, and then you'll also find our Discord. And once you find the Discord, you can find me and introduce yourself. And we're going to be racing in the new year, Monday through Friday night, and they will be GT7 and primarily PMR tracks. I do know there are opportunities for us to possibly bring in LMR if we wanted to, and that's getting better, and it is getting good. other than that, I generally think this game has a good future, and we're going to see more cars. We're going to see more things introduced to it. I know it's disappointing that you can't skin the cars at this moment in time, but we will be able to. I'm 100% sure there'll be modifications coming, and there's going to be plenty of development, and we will work with it and we will grow with it. So that's where I'm going to leave it today, folks. Now, there's lots of umming and ahhing, but I'm trying to give you it fresh, clean, and without bias. I generally think this game needs your support, and if you can encourage it to grow rather than kick it, it will be the game you want it to be. And it's cost a lot of money for each of us to get at this point. And I think this could produce some really good racing. And once it comes together, it will be excellent racing. So with that, folks, I'm going to leave you with it. Check back for PMR on this channel, and we'll see you soon. All the best, folks. Take care. We'll see you next time.